Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, new motherfucking channel there, little throwaway vid style about how AEW fucking basically the ratings there. If you look at reality, according to them, it's an amazing product, greatest product there, better than WWE there. I don't know if it's better than New Japan there. It's like, oh, this is the best. But Japan, it's good too. It's the same, I mean. So basically there, you look at the ratings, which is the reality there, they're only getting about 700,000, sometimes 800,000 for their TV show now. Every wrestling fan knows that it exists there. You know what I mean? They're getting more views than NXT. NXT gets 600,000, but NXT is so fucking boring. I prefer the main roster of WWE. I'm a main roster kind of guy, and when I watch the boring indie trash on NXT, I fucking fall asleep every week. It's easy to beat a show like this with zero fucking stars there. You know what I mean? These guys, they ask for a great in-ring product. They don't want talking. They want only wrestling and a good in-ring product. That's NXT, and nobody gives a fuck, as you can see by their ratings, for midgets having good wrestling. Nobody gives a fuck about this, you know what I mean? So they're beating a show like this barely. They barely beat them. They get like 700,000. NXT gets 600. And it's a big celebration. NXT in the mud and competition. Another one for the bad guy or whatever the fuck there. But this is like winning a race. You come in at 15th place and you brag about beating the guy who came in the 20th place. You know what I mean? 700K is nothing to brag about. If this was so great, if it was so revolutionary, how come nobody's watching it? You know what I'm saying? SmackDown, all low ratings, they still get over 2 million on SmackDown. You know what I mean? Because you got some stars on there like Roman Reigns. AEW, you have stars, but most of them are in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? Oh, Jake Roberts and Arn Anderson there. A 57-year-old Billy Gunn in the main event last week of AEW, but that's okay. If they have legends from another company, that's fine. WWE bring, legends that people actually care about there. If they bring real legends, it's bad and it's cheating, but AEW can have another company's legends, that's okay there. But if you look at the viewers, 700K, everybody around the world knows that this company exists now, all the wrestling fans, and yet nobody watches it. Why? Because it's not that good, motherfuckers. First of all, at least half the roster are complete unknown nobodies. Look at the page on Wikipedia and read off these names. You're not going to know 3/4 of the fucking roster unless you're an obsessed indie nut job mental case fruitcake fuck who jacks off to Japanese wrestling. Then you might know some of them. But even they don't know all of these fucking jobbers there. Okay, like 3/4 are fucking green wrestlers who don't know how to wrestle. First of all, there, okay, and the stars that you do have, Chris Jericho, 50 years old, finished. He can still talk. He can still goof around and do the stuff that you supposedly hated in WWE. He can still do his WWE material, but when it comes to wrestling, he's fucking slowed down big time. He's fat, like Scott Steiner would say there, and his last match at the Full Gear pay-per-view was a piece of shit. Straight up a slow, fucking boring piece of shit match. Chris Jericho is old. He's a star, but he's old. Dean Ambrose or John Moxley or whatever. These fans, they were claiming Moxley was a big star. Now you want a bum like Eddie Kingston to beat him for the belt. So apparently these guys don't give a big fuck about Moxley, it turns out. If they want a fucking jobber like him to beat him for the belt, that's because they're already tired of Moxley because he's a fucking boring champion. He was a boring champion. Stone Cold told him to his face. It's like he was putting no effort. And it's the same thing. In AEW, it's hardcore matches with no effort and stale promos at this point. You have Kenny Omega, a star in Japan. They say he's big in Japan or whatever. That's like a saying. Somebody's big in Japan, but he's not that big in the States. Meltzer loves him. The fans in the indies like him because Meltzer told them to or whatever. But the guy is fucking goofy. He can't cut a promo. He moves around like a fucking goofball in the ring. He looks goofy. The faces, the hand gestures, all the stuff that Cornette pointed out about him, their twinkle toes and all of that, it's just lame as fuck. He's obsessed with video games, the stuff. Apparently his name is the Cleaner because he blew in video game cartridges to clean them. So basically his whole persona, his entrances, everything revolves around games. The dude's like a man-child, pretty much. Like some kind of autistic wrestler marking out for himself with a Japanese fetish. You know, I don't see what's so impressive. The guy just looks like a fucking clown out there. The same knee strikes over and over again. No personality, just goofy faces. Stuff like this there. Well, I don't get the appeal of this guy. Another group of stars there, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, the greatest tag team of all time. They have the same match every week. And guess what? Every other tag team, apart from FTR and a few others, every other tag team wrestles the same match. Goofy flips and dives and kicks. They all do the same thing and they're all fucking midgets. The Young Bucks can't cut promos. They're not good at cutting promos. They have no look, no personality, no aura. They just conned indie freaks into buying their merchandise. That's the only thing they've done. And rip off more talented wrestlers, their moves and catchphrases. They themselves are just fucking full of shit and full of themselves and full of tears if you fucking criticize their work. Even if you criticize the Dark Order, apparently that's too much for them to handle. They have to get off of Twitter if you fucking criticize their show. Talk about fucking crybaby fucktards or whatever. But their match is very overrated. Maybe Meltzer likes it, but he doesn't speak for everybody. He just speaks for himself and his indie sheeps or whatever. Like I believe that Kenny Omega had the greatest wrestling match of all time against a fuck all nobody from Japan there. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to believe for any second that this was better than every match we've ever seen. Give me a fucking break. If Meltzer wants to suck his cock 24/7 and the boring Young Bucks' cocks, that's his choice, but I don't have to follow along with it. Nor do I have to go along with this modern, smart, retard wrestling. So-called comedy wrestling that they do there. Oh, this is modern. You don't get it. No, it's garbage is what it is. Wrestling was always pretty much the same for 300 years. You know, just coming out and trying to hijack the word wrestling. WWE Sports Entertainment. This is wrestling. And the Young Bucks are the greatest team ever. They had the best match of all time. Kenny's the best. No, these are all dick-sucking jobbers is what they are. They are not the best at nothing apart from jacking off Dave Meltzer to get 5-star ratings or whatever. These guys are not the best. Y'all can live in your fucking pathetic dream world there. But the fact is, WWE is better than that shit. No matter how sad it was several years ago for a long time, all the boring shit they give us, no matter how bad it was, it's still better than this shit. And the product is a bit better than it was a little there. So I still think the WWE product is way better than this trash. Okay. Cody Rhodes, he's a big star in his own mind. The guy, he's a glorified mid-carder. His dad was a star. His dad came up with stuff. All he did was be Stardust or whatever. He had a goofy gimmick with a shield over his face, just dyeing his hair blonde or whatever and claiming to be a big star. It's not enough. Okay, him crying, talking about his daddy. Not enough, motherfucker. You're a medium-sized fish in the small pond full of goofs. You get to book yourself as a big star. He books himself with this goofy music and crying after every match. He tells them to claim he's a star. He's not a fucking star. He's a fucking ham and egger. He's fucking corny. He's not a real promo cutter. He's just a fucking goof. A big mark for himself. Okay? Imagine being a mark for yourself so bad that you get a big fucking tattoo of your shit brand right on your neck. That's how much of a mark he is for himself. The shit he did at Full Gear. Getting down on one knee and handing the belt to Darby Allin just completely ruined the whole thing. They had a decent match, but he's so fucking corny and so fucking full of himself. He has to make it all about himself. Gets down on one knee and gives him the belt. What a fucking goof. But Cody Rhodes, not a real star. The rest are all fucking jobbers. FTR, a couple of short, fat, boring guys. They don't cut promos. They just have very basic tag team wrestling. Oh my God, so amazing, these guys. They got Rusev. Rusev is a star, and they managed to fucking ruin him with an Eminem haircut. He's the sidekick of a complete unknown midget jobber, which is beyond retarded. Tony Khan does not know how to book wrestling. He's a big fucking nerd. The whole fucking Fed is nerdy. Tony Khan, this is a good show. We just had the best show of all time tonight. And it's just a big nerd doing fantasy booking. It just happens that he's the son of a billionaire. So his fantasy bookings are coming to life or whatever. You know, oh, these guys are free. These WWE wrestlers, they were held back by McMahon, and now they're free to dye their hair blonde like Rusev, and he can fucking look like Eminem and ruin his whole fucking character and the star image that WWE created is fucking ruined with retarded video game storylines. But they're having fun in this fed. It's not real wrestling. Wrestling was real men conning people out of fucking money by pretending to fight. It was big, badass dudes with characters and funny guys. Real funny wrestlers that could cut promos for real. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking fed full of nerds having fun with their pockets and fucking Japanese wrestlers putting their underwear in other people's face. Nothing makes sense, but they're having a good time, apparently, there. Oh, wrestling doesn't have to be serious. We all know it's fake. Okay, and it's, you can be a fucking 5-foot tall guy who weighs 100 pounds, and you can become a star there. It's okay if you suck dick there. You understand? It's okay. Nyla Rose can be the women's champ. It's okay. Tony Khan is going to love everything you do, and he's going to book a show there. Every show is the best show of all time. It's a fucking circus full of rainbows and goofiness, this fucking company there. We're having fun. The wrestlers are free to cut promos. We have great fun gimmicks like the librarian. And everybody wrestles like the Young Bucks. We're free. Fuck you, McMahon. Fuck you. This is so lame. It's so fucking ridiculous and lame. All right? No storylines. The storylines that you do get are just fucking weird. Or like half the matches don't have storylines. According to Cody Rhodes, this company doesn't have to rely on storylines like WWE does. Cody tries to make it sound like it's a bad thing that WWE relies on storylines. First of all, these goofs there, they don't know how to write storylines. All they know how to do is put a shit ton of boring jobber tag teams on the same show that nobody truly gives a fuck about. These fake, phony goofs will claim to love these teams, but in reality, nobody cares about these fucking goof jobbers. They're fucking a bunch of unknown nobodies with zero charisma or zero talent. Okay, most matches, it's just the same thing. Flips and kicks. And the guys don't know how to do real wrestling moves. They don't know how to sell. Fucking packed with fucking botches in these matches. The women's matches are fucking terrible. Beyond fucking terrible. Like, you look at WWE, like Sasha Banks wrestles better than the men of AEW. That's how low the quality of wrestling is in that company. But the women are fucking horrible. Full of injuries, full of botches. Like I said, no stories. The stories that they do have are fucking cheap. Like the Hangman and Kenny Omega, they're friends. They're not friends. They're pouty with each other. One of them drinks. Kenny doesn't cut promos about anything or whatever. There's no storyline, barely. It's the main story so far is how Cody Rhodes is fucking full of himself. Oh, if Cody loses, he doesn't win, he can't challenge for the belt. Then the Young Bucks, if the Young Bucks don't win, they can't challenge for the belt. And then they rehash stuff from the WWE. That's their storylines, and ripping off WCW that belongs to the WWE now. You know what I mean? Promos, it's Chris Jericho doing half-ass promos. goofing around just like he does on commentary. He doesn't even take it seriously, for God's sake. Nobody cuts real good promos. They're all free to cut promos. It's just Moxley doing the same hardcore promo every week. And you have Eddie Kingston. According to AEW fans, he's the best talker in the business. One of the best talkers and heels of all time. But he's just a big goof jobber from the indies. Did you see how he was dressed at Full Gear? How the fuck can they charge $50 for a match with a bum like this? Insane. And his promos are fucking corny and he sounds like an indie jobber. I ain't gonna fuck around, brother. I'm the champ here. I'm the big star. He's a fucking bum. He's boring. I can't imitate the guy because I don't give enough of a fuck to even remember his voice there. Like I told Jerry, he looks like a fucking taxi driver from New York there. You going to the Empire State Building there? Where you going, huh? He just looks like a big jobber. Apparently, he's the big king of promos because he cut a promo on the cookie on BTE. These fans, I'm serious. You look at the opinions of these fans, some of the dumbest shit that's ever been said. Like the Young Bucks are just as legendary as the Road Warriors. Fans of this fed actually write shit like this. They claim for real that Kenny is like the best. Some of these guys, they truly believe that. They're either fucking, they want to suck his dick very bad, or they're very fucking stupid, or they're trolling. It can't be any other way. Either they know absolutely fuck all about wrestling and they just read a few fanboys and they're just going with this, oh, Kenny's the best. But you can't be fucking serious. You know what I mean? These guys there, they're a bunch of ham and eggers and a couple of disgruntled WWE guys that are past their prime. Most of them complete unknown green jobbers with Tony Khan, who does not know how to book wrestling. It's second-rate, shitty, garbage wrestling. You get hardcore moves once in a while that look dangerous, but half these guys get injured every fucking show or whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, the WWE is so bad to their wrestlers. And you look at the Young Bucks, the guy's wrestling injured. You know what I mean? How great of a company is this if their fucking injured guy is fucking wrestling for the tag team titles? You have guys with concussions laying in the ring for 5 minutes. The whole Matt Hardy thing. Just wait. This company is going to have to release jobbers eventually. This whole good guy image, it's not going to last forever. They're only getting 700,000 viewers there. Okay, second rate, third rate, fourth rate, motherfucking garbage, indie trash. This is what this company is. And eventually it's going to become TNA. You saw the rise of TNA there. They too had a big network deal with Spike. They too had wrestlers that they got from WWE and they were trying to make themselves look like WCW. But at some point they had almost 2 million viewers, TNA. You know what I mean? These guys, it's, there's no Kevin Nash or Scott Hall coming to give you ratings. There's no Hulk Hogan coming to give you ratings. They maybe could have done something with CM Punk, but, big fail there. Unless they give money to Lesnar, he might show up a little bit, but this company is going to go downhill. They have nothing to offer. It's a bunch of bum, straight up trash, indie jobbers with Finnish guys. It's just people that hate WWE giving this thing some love. For years, people were mad at WWE for a variety of reasons, and they came in as the fake knight in shining armor or whatever. Oh, we're gonna fucking solve all your problems. We got a Fed for you, boys. But it's a indie goofball Fed designed to make money off of smarks, indie fans, and retards. That's what this is. They're not gonna save wrestling. All they're doing is destroying it, especially their fans. This might hurt the WWE a bit, but eventually they're going to go downhill like TNA. You know what I mean? McMahon is going to go downhill even more as the years go by, but never is this goofy shit fed going to destroy McMahon or take its place. No matter how much propaganda Meltzer and the websites put out there so they can make money off the neckbeards or whatever, McMahon will always fucking be on top, and the indie fans will always be at the bottom, taking it there. Oh, taking it there. Buy all the fucking Young Bucks t-shirts you want. All you're doing is wasting your mother's money, straight up. Keep calling your grandma, telling her to put on TNT so you can make this channel or this company look bigger than it is or whatever. Keep calling your cousins. Please put all your TVs on TNT, please. Calling everybody they know to get fucking ratings for this shit show there. Raw and SmackDown will always be the big dogs, boy. Especially with stars like Roman Reigns on the show there. So yeah, AEW sucks. It is what it is. And WWE, well, it sucks too a lot of the times, but it's better than this shit. It is what it is there. Until next time, peace.